big one tonight. Game 5, Heat and Bucks from Milwaukee. You, of course, can listen to that game here tonight on 560 WQAM, 9:30 tip on the Miami Heat audio experience. And, of course, you can listen to Preheat. Alejandro Solana gets you going. Tommy Tigg, Amy Audibert, the whole crew. They have your call tonight. Let's go, though, out to the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop over 1,500 Toyotas indoors and one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. If you're not listening, you'll be watching on Bally Sports Sun. 9:30 is where you guys can watch all of your local Heat calls, which I know everybody loves hearing. And you can also, of course, watch Jason Jackson's pre-post coverage there and listen to Eric Reed, John Crotty on the call. The Jack Show joining us now from Milwaukee. Jax, how are you,
there
man?
He is.
Fine.
Feeling historical, man. Feeling
Jax,
historical.
I am
yes,
a Taurus also.
You know, I should have known. I'm 5'12", 1972. I was born at 2:12 in the afternoon. I tell people all the time, I wasn't born at night or last night. I was born in the afternoon. I could see some things.
You remember when you were born. I'm just glad to be here, baby.
Oh, listen, man. I mean, you did some things with your melon that most people shouldn't do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
75 car wrecks on Sunday plus practice. I mean,
Jax, you've been
about
with this
that
team.
stuff.
You've been with this team all year.
Mhm.
And you followed them and the ups and downs and the frustrations and whatever. What are we seeing now? What has led us to believe that this was even possible? We know Jimmy could turn it up, but look at the everybody else. Dunks, Caleb Martin, everybody else is pitching in even without Tyler. Where is this coming from?
Well, it comes from two places. Number one, I think we all forgot, and we don't consider, and it's really Spo's fault in a good way. We never, ever talk about leading this association in games missed due to injury. No one talks about it.
Correct.
And it's because the players and the head coach they refuse to acknowledge that is a thing of consideration. That's something to actually go, man, it's better when we have all our players available. And here they are still without Oladipo, without Hero, and they're on the precipice of doing something that's only been done just short of 1% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like between 99 and 100% of the time, somewhere between those numbers, one seeds advance in these now 76 NBA playoffs. And that's what's really starting to weigh, Leroy, on me today, is the responsibility of making sure there is a proper audio documentation, hopefully, in this first elimination game.
We montaged it like crazy yesterday, Jackson. I mean, yesterday was just a Jimmy Butler celebration, and it was great hearing your calls.
How'd I do? No, and I want you guys
man.
really to break this down because I made a decision at the beginning of the 13-0 run. I'm gonna take you guys all the way in. I'm bringing you all the way in. We go to break, and there's 5:57, I think, left in the game. I reach over to Canadian Club over here, all right, Amy Audibert, Oh Canada, as we like to call it, and I write W or L on her box score that we just received. And let's just say Amy's a realist, and I'm ridiculously optimistic. And she wouldn't quite, like, we had the headphones on. We could be in talk back, but this was a non-speaking moment in the break.
Right.
And as you guys know, these national breaks are 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time to kind of get your thoughts together. And I just circled W. I didn't have a reason yet. Bam hadn't made that shot yet to start the 13-0 run, and Jimmy loses his mind right in front of our eyes. But I just
had that feeling.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like back at, I think it was Brookline for all you golf fans.
Oh, yeah.
And Ben
on
that Saturday night. I don't know what it is. But I gotta be. I mean, it was that type of vibe.
Jax,
and I don't know if
it.
it's going to go down tonight, by the way, guys. I don't know that until we're in the building, and there'll be ups and downs. We'll be all over the place. But it's just, if you have one game to win in 3, a great deal of the time in NBA history, you tend to advance.
Well, Jax, don't worry about it because I do a show with the same guy.
What?
The same guy.
This is ridiculous. I don't understand, Jax. I've never gotten more business from a co-host where Leroy's just like, you're just going on blind faith. You can't just shout at me, Jim VP, before the series starts.
You can.
That's the reason.
Yes, you can.
I did, and he's proving me. Jimmy Butler is making me look like a genius. I don't understand what this superpower is that he has, because even this has exceeded what we've seen this, like bubble against the Lakers, everybody hurt. He can summon something. Last year's season on the line in Boston, he'll extend it, and then he'll scare Boston like hell down to the bitter end, down to a shot. I don't like you know, he wants to say it's not a thing. Playoff Jimmy's not a thing, but it's a thing, man. Like he's incredible. It's his will and he'll find any means, any way. I just it's unbelievable how he's able to do this and continue to just leave our jaws on the floor.
That's believable now. It was believable even before the greatest playoff scoring performance in the history of the franchise, the 4th best playoff scoring performance in the history of the league. It was before that. And for whatever reason, there's always been this hesitation with Jimmy, even before he arrived in Miami, to say that he was among the superest stars. You just can't.
See if that hotel Wi-Fi gathers.
Then let's shift it. He just played one of the.
I really want to know what he's saying.
I do too. You want to get him on the phone?
That's all they do. That was his stat line.
Jax, you broke up there. We didn't hear any of your brilliance. Are you back?
That's terrible. Am I there with you now?
Now it seems like you're here. Can you recapture that?
Yeah, no, I was saying, just kind of in a nutshell, so you can get to an awesome question I know that's coming next, is that he not only does it, like, it's this unwillingness to put the superstar stamp on him, and that's silly. You know, like, let that happen, number one. And then number two, let it wash over you that man just had a stat line that people who dunk only for a living have.
Right. You know what's amazing to me, Jax, is he scored 56. That defense is not a scrub. We ain't talking about Western Conference wide open basketball. We talking about Giannis, who won the DPOY. We're talking about Lopez, who was a runner-up this year, Chris Middleton, and Drew Holiday. And he torched them. I mean, if anything, you got to give him credit for being able to do that to that team.
Well, we go back and look at that 13-0 run, like we'll do on Heat Live tonight at 9 o'clock. Feel free to join yours truly, Amy Adalbert, Eric, and John, as we work from the wood, as I like to say, at 5 Serve Forum. We're going to look inside that run. And the thing that I asked Amy to do when we were on Heat Force 1 last night, or yesterday afternoon, was I want you to dive in on the attempts to double Jimmy. How many times did he attempt it? And in those attempts, I think it was like only 8 or 9. And what did he do then? I don't have the data, but I think you're right. I think your analysis is correct.
So look, he caught it out his periphery. He was gone.
Gone or elevating for a 2 and knocking it down. And here's the thing. Please tell me one of those mid-ranges that touched a whole lot of rim or glass, or it was a lot of just net ripping going on. Some twine tickling, as we like to say on occasion.
Jax, if I had to give you one player on the Heat team who probably needs to be more supportive in their role, it would be Bam, right? It would definitely be Bam.
More, I would say Max. More. Max? If I get standard Max, right? If I can get just a carafe full of that Struce juice, then what Bam is dealing with a mountain in front of him is is just trying to survive and find ways to impact everything. Do some scoring, do some rebounding, defend his ass off. And if that happens in that 15 to 20 point realm, if it's closer to double digit rebounds, I'm fine with Bam. If Jimmy's going to be off the charts, it now just comes down to, can I get that standard element while I'm getting Duncan, right? Who's just been,
right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Duncan of old and then better. I mean, what has he made? Hold on, I just had that stat. I apologize if I crack up your screen by looking at another screen. But 13 for 17. Okay, more, please. Just give it to us.
He's been amazing, and especially as he's been able to do. Wasn't getting the regular playing time, and now it's crazy that the blowout, it was a benefit for him to kind of just get going, in that fourth quarter where he got to just get some up, and it paid off. He kind of just got to get his swagger back a little bit. But from a Bam perspective, Jax, do you feel like, because Leroy, I'm a huge Bam fan. It's kind of impossible not to like the guy and everything he does bring. But you know what the social media is, and everybody, will yell at you about a player. Do you feel like this is the most pressure he has faced from a Heat fan base just because of how much he has to take on with Brook Lopez and getting that shot to fall a lot like it did, in the first half of game one, second half of game one?
I think people just don't care what he has to do, just do it, right? Like Bam created this dynamic where he is going to score, he is going to assist, he is going to rebound, and again, be a dynamic defender on anybody who touches the floor. And then we forget that that's hard. We forget that immediately. And that Bam is 6'9", and Brook Lopez, while 10 years older, is still over 7 feet tall and highly skilled. Like, that's not somebody over there that's just going, sure, Bam, whatever you like. And now he's doing it, by the way, from the perimeter because Giannis is back.
Right.
And so it's now it's almost okay, I've been doing it this one way for 2.5 games. Now I'm going to change everything, and I've got to be mindful to still be in here, which is what's genius about having Kevin Love in the first five, is that Bam can still find somebody, in the interior, maintain some paint presence so he can go up and, not allow for another opportunity via an offensive rebound for the Bucks. That doesn't eliminate the fact that you do have to have some more production, and it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to catch it as deep. But I tell you what, man, if Brook starts all that sagging again, boy, you better put an eyeball on the floor. Just shoot it out. Like, no hesitation. And I'm sure that's the message he's getting. Like, no hesitation, or drive and try to rip somebody's neck off.
Right. I always wish that they would kind of isolate Bam and give him some room with Brook Lopez and make Lopez move his feet. But you're right in that once they get into that situation where Bam has the ball outside, Brook immediately backs up. He don't want to get taken off the dribble. So Bam has been hesitant shooting that little. I mean, we've loved the fact that he shoots that thing from the foul line right there. He's been hesitant. Right.
Yeah. No, just catching fire.
Right.
Leroy. And that's it. And because here's the thing tonight. Let's just go ahead and let's go ahead and storyboard this, right? The place is going to be on fire. Right? They're going to have actual deer in the building. They're going forests throughout greater Milwaukee. They're going to go get deer and bring them in. And it's going to be a zoo. It's going to be nuts, right? Because desperation from the team is historical. This isn't just another thing. This isn't the conference semifinals. It's the first round. And they don't want to be on that board. Right. There's only 5 other number ones ever that are in the position that they're in now. And they ended up having to throw up a peace sign. So the fervor and the push, I really feel if the Heat can just roll with it. First of all, if the Heat come out and throw the first haymaker, and it's Bud strolling out there to throw the timeout up first. I mean,
everybody gonna be nervous. They're gonna be shook.
The game isn't over, right? The game is not over, but the confidence swell, and you're not so moved by all the cheese whiz coming down from the stands. And then what I would love most is be within 5 minutes and it's a game. Like, I mean, either way, will I hate them? No, I love blowouts. I have stories I can tell. I'm perfectly fine. But I know this team. We've all seen this team. And, 3/4 of the time, maybe we're on the edge of our seat wondering where we're going. And, man, if it comes down to that, just get ready for your montage tomorrow.
Tune in tonight, guys. Heat Live starts at 9 o'clock, 9:30 tip-off from the Pfizer Forum. Game 5 tonight between the Heat and Bucks. And, of course, you guys can hear Jason Jackson on the Miami Heat audio experience. He will have your call with Amy Audibert, and our pregame coverage gets going at 8:15 here. If you guys are listening, Jax, always a tremendous job. Enjoy. Maybe get a nap in. I mean, it's a very late start for us here.
Well, I get the hour, and there will be 90 minutes of total shutdown. And since I have this beautiful view of all the air conditioners here at this hotel in the center of
You can always tell.
Milwaukee,
Every hotel has those standard blinds. The standard cream blinds.
These right here are necessary because there's some dude just walking out here fixing things. And I just scream at him all morning, let's go Heat!
I love it. All right, thanks, Jax. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, Jax.
Appreciate you.
There you go. Jason Jackson.